First of all, thank you so much for coming tonight. This is the first year that Lafayette High School has been a Title I school. So it's our learning year. We are super excited about having some opportunities of actually purchasing some things that our school desperately needs. So next to me is part of my academic team. I've got Ronnie and Pam that are on the other side. They're not here tonight, but they're busy doing other things. But each of us is going to just take a quick moment, introduce ourselves, and tell you kind of the role here that they have at Lafayette High School. Again, my name is Maggie Stoltz, and I'm the principal.
Hi, guys. I'm Julie Shaw, and I'm part-time academic coach and part-time assistant principal.
Good evening. My name is Virginia Settles. I'm one of the assistant principals. I'm also supervisor of the CTAE, which stands for Career Technical Agricultural Education. So I have the honor of supervising that as well.
Newest member to our team, and what comes with the Title I funding is a school coordinator.
There, that's me, Shannon Gilreath. I'm the family engagement coordinator. I get to work in planning all these fun events and try to get you all engaged in your students' activities at school.
And she has been a huge addition. So on behalf of Lafayette High School, being our first event, we are super excited. Thank you, Shannon, for everything that you put in here to start that. So big round of applause for these ladies. They would love to stand up here all night, but since they don't have to do this, we kind of wavered. I wasn't going to be here on Thursday, so I kept saying, let's do it Thursday, but we're going to do it tonight. So again, Lucky IQ Wardlaws was kind enough to help sponsor us this evening. Not movie, but click the button. Let's just spin it. Let's see, go to present. Okay? And then present at the bottom.
Good. Here's your button.
All right, so for those of you that don't know what Title I is, or if you need this presented in another language, please see Shannon. I do not speak Spanish, but I have 3 people here that do, so good luck tomorrow, y'all. All right, a Title I school is a school that receives funding, federal funding, under what's called ESSA. Of course, in education, we have tons of acronyms, but that's basically Every Student Succeeds Act. So it provides a level of money that allows us to supplement the already supplies and services that we provide. But mainly it is to focus on academic achievement and help raise the students' performance level. So I took an opportunity just to go ahead and provide you with our most recent academic data. We are kind of graded by the state in several different areas. The largest percent of our area that we get graded in is under the EOCs. We have 4 of them, 1 in each content area. So for English, it's American literature. That's typically a junior year. Algebra is typically a freshman year. Biology is typically a sophomore year. And U.S. history, again, is a junior year. They're talking about changing the standards in the state. I think that's going to be coming into fruition next year. They're looking at moving the American Lit from a junior level class back down to a sophomore. So I've got some thoughts on that. I'm a little worried because the maturity level is a little bit higher when you're at that junior level. So we've seen some huge increases in literature, but also mainly in U.S. history based on the fact that we think students that are taking tests at that later time are putting a little bit more thought into it. So again, if you'll look here, we are leading the state in all 3 of these areas: algebra, biology, and U.S. history. American literature, we're a little bit behind. We have been waiting on the new standards. They're coming in. We're going to start unpacking those and building those pacing guides, following the scope and sequence that the state gives us. We know we have some work to do in that area, but we are more than determined to tackle that project. Back in 2021, that year right after COVID, that year that kind of the world shut down, we had only 10.8% of our students that were proficient, meaning level 3 or level 4 in algebra. Our test scores that just came in from the state that got embargoed just about a couple weeks ago showed us at 51%. So you go from 10%, 0.8, in 3 years progress to 51. So again, that's going to be one of our goals. But basically, we provide instruction, resources, and support for all of our families, those that are economically disadvantaged. Of course, everybody knows our vision. We talk a lot about graduating ready for college, ready for work, ready for life. We do have a graduation rate of 93.3%. We're very excited about that. We still have some work to do on that. I know we're still missing some of the students that are not graduating. But again, we have a great team. We have admission support specialists, our counselors, our administrators. We find non-traditional ways of serving kids. For those of us that went to school when dinosaurs roamed the earth, don't raise your hand. You don't need to call yourself out. But that is, you either went to school 8 hours a day or you had to drop out. You didn't really have a lot of choices. But with COVID came online instruction or online learning, being able to drive your own learning. The opportunity for Walker Launch, that was the opportunity to leave and be connected with GNTC so they could work on the more career technical pathways. Students that need to work 40 hours a week, so they don't need to go to school for 30 hours, but or 40 hours a week because they're working that much. But if they could go to school 3 or 4 hours, but still have a level of support, that's where Ombudsman begins to serve them. So our 2 goals that we're going to focus on this year based on our data, the data that we have laid out here, the data we're working with here, is working on the raising the proficiency level of algebra. Again, I said we're at 51, so we're looking to increase that by 3%. We feel that we can accomplish that goal. The other one is to tackle this one here, and that is to also increase by 3%. Now, 3% is a lot. Doesn't seem like a lot. Well, when you're looking at data, sometimes that can be a drop. You want to try to achieve a goal. You don't want to set a goal so high that you can't achieve. So we're going to just take this first year and see what we can do in that direction. All right. So how do we spend the money? And that's important because I try to be extremely transparent about what happens here. I want people to know the decisions we're making is a part of those decisions. And we want input. And that's one of the things that Shannon's big task and goal is to make sure that we're including what our parents think and how the money is spent. This, again, is federal, so it does involve taxes. You're spending your tax money. But things to buy new books, new technology. There's iPads. We've started with our math teachers and given them that accessibility in the classroom. You can actually have quick data, formative data pulled up. You can sit down and have those one-on-one conversations with the students and say, hey, Avery, right here in this area, you need to improve it, but you're doing a great job. When Avery can see that in real time, it makes sense to Avery, and Avery knows kind of what goals he needs to work on. Also, it's to help support our teachers. Thank you, Avery, for letting me use you as an example. He's a fantastic student. So to help teachers with planning lesson plans, supplemental materials, professional development, training, those are things that we would love to send our teachers to. Number one, we have problems sometimes getting subs, and that's a real problem. For some reason, people don't want to come sub at Fayette High School. It just shocks me. But it's to help us get ISL and some of those web-based subscriptions that help support our students and their needs. We've already kind of talked about the 4 tests. Those are the 4 things. In addition to that, the state has also put like a wellness expectation fitness assessment involved, and that's for PE. They have to meet certain standards for their health fitness. So again, I'm glad I'm out of high school. Curriculum, pretty much we use is driven by the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. They set up a scope and sequence, basically saying, this is the material you're going to teach, and this is the material you have to teach in a year-long or a semester process. But with that comes the opportunity of pacing guide. They kind of drive the unit. It should take you 15 days to teach this lesson, etc. So there's a lot of support and guidance from the state on that, not necessarily how to teach it, but the standards that you have to teach it in. Anything else you would add, Julie, to that?
Supplemental materials that we have, and we did have some supplemental materials. Those are always voted on by Board of Education and looked at thoroughly by teachers before they're part of our curriculum.
I'm not an expert on Title I law. Don't intend to be before I speak. But Title I involved, and part of that is, okay, you're using the parents' money. You're using the tax money. We're giving this to you. You got to involve parents in that conversation. And I know parents get to the point when you get to high school, you're like, thank God, go on, I don't want to go. They don't want you at dances. They don't want you at places. Honestly, kids do want you here. They want you to see the kind of product they're producing in the classroom, the music they're playing on the basketball court, in chorus. But it's involving those parents and having them help plan and implementation along the way and keeping those lines of communications open. They say that when there's communication between school education and home, students can be very successful. I'm going to let Shannon talk a little bit about what a parent-school compact is. That came home right before Hurricane Helene, if any of y'all remember that. One of our goals was to get compacts back. It's just a commitment where you're signing. And so besides food and jeans for teachers, I learned that early dismissal for students is a big key. Avery goes thumbs up. We like to get out at 2 o'clock. So basically, it's like that treat dum-dum thing. You bring this back, I give you a sucker. Works really great. Our treasure chest in elementary school. I don't have treasure chests in high school. We call that early dismiss. Yeah. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about the compact.
The compact we sent home last month became home in a packing like this. I'm sure there's unit titles on it so they get their early release. A compact is basically a promise between you, child, and teacher, and the school to help your student do better in school. We created the compact based on feedback from surveys we sent out on social media. And you may have seen me at football games harassing you all to fill out the surveys. But from that, we shaped the agreement to help your student do better in school. And it outlines our shared commitment to meet their goals. Thank you all for coming tonight. Please stick around for the literacy night after this. We're not late.
Yeah. Shannon had one advice, and you're going to talk tonight. You're going to talk about the compact, so she did a great job. People talk about Lafayette High School. What does highly qualified mean? Highly qualified means that you have graduated from a institution that is approved by the state. You have a teaching certificate and a degree, or you're going through a teaching certificate program, but also that you have taken and passed what's known as the GATES. It's a Georgia certification test that says you have the knowledge and ability to teach this. Not everybody went there for content specific, like a history teacher could go and get a history degree, learn to teach history, but can also take a science GATE. They can pass the science GATE, they're considered highly qualified. Okay? I wouldn't necessarily put a science teacher teaching math or a history teacher. I'd like to kind of find them in their subject areas. And when we work with co-teachers, we try to find co-teachers that are supporting that teacher of record that is also highly qualified in that subject area. We find that is more beneficial for the long run. All right. Virginia, I think this is how we talked about, you would talk about how we would use the Title I funds, which we were just working on the budget when y'all came in.
This is the fun part. This is where you all get to really take an active role in this particular venture that we're on. As a Title I participant, we are required to make sure we afford you the opportunity to participate in things like our literacy night. We also have an opportunity for you to do parent workshops. We want to empower parents with the knowledge and ability to be able to help your child be successful at home academically. A lot of times kids can get it in the classroom with that teacher help and support. When they get home, they're lost, and parents feel frustrated, as what we found. They feel frustrated because they're not able to provide them with the resources or the knowledge to be able to complete an assignment or a homework assignment. So our job is to try to help empower you through workshops and different activities to be able to help your child be successful and to encourage them as well. So we want you to be active. When we send out invitations, we want you to come and join us because not just for us, it's for you and the ability to be able to help your child. So we really encourage you to be able to ask questions. If you don't know, we'll find answers for you. We'll work at this together. So we're, as a team and as a family, we want to make sure that you are empowered as well.
Another thing Lee Jr. is going to talk quickly about is tonight we are hosting literacy because English Classroom has done, the teachers have been willing to help out. But on November the 7th, we are combining and doing a parent resource center. So if you want to talk a little bit about that.
On November the 7th, we're going to offer an opportunity for parents to come out and join us. We're going to have business partners here from all of Walker County and surrounding areas to actually provide some employability skill development for parents. So this is just a small snippet of what we do with our students in our classes. We teach them employability skills. A lot of the CTAE classes are heavy on that. They are really well-versed in employability skills, but we're opening this up to parents. If you know anybody who is looking for a job, like to have a career change, want to be more involved with certain things, please come out and join us. We'll have lots of fun activities ready to do. We have food trucks here. We'll have, I think, at least 3 food trucks or so. Kona Ice will be here to also support us and to offer some refreshing items for you. But we want to make sure that you are empowered and that you have lots of activities, lots of resources available to you as well. Our business partners are looking to bring in Roper, some of our major entities around us. We want to bring them in, and they're going to talk to us. Mr. Kern, our work-based learning coordinator, will also be providing some resources and some mini workshops on employability skills, how to maintain a job and how to flourish that, how to use those skills to go into your next career or sustain the one you have. So lots of fun activities. Please be able to look out for flyers and for social media posts that we'll send out for you as well. So we hope to see you there.
Times for that, Shannon, off the top of your head?
5 to 7.
5 to 7. So we've done some social media posts. When I say social media posts, what's the social media aspect that comes to your mind of how you can get information from Lafayette High School? I'm just curious if parents know. Facebook. There is a particular one, though. Does everybody know Lafayette High School's specific page?
Yes.
LHS grad. Yes, we can. Okay. If you want to know what's going on at Lafayette High School, I guarantee you that page, or LHS Counseling, is the other major page that is run by myself and the guidance department. Zach Reynolds does an amazing job on social media. I'm telling you, your high school kids, if they have not come running home every day to tell you exactly what they learned today and what's happening, that's one of those things that we can help you out with by you finding that information on social media. Also, I post a weekly LHS lowdown. I've now had the radio station, we recorded in our audio visual class, and I share it with the radio stations to help them be able to promote that information, because believe it or not, a large part of this town listens to WQCH still, okay? And I want them to know things that are going on here specifically. If you've got families that are here that you're friends with that have younger kids, if I'm correct, we're setting up a kids zone.
Yes, we did that with inflatables, possibly mace painting.
So we're trying to treat this kind of like a fall festival type-ish activity, something to do that's wholesome, it's here, it's in an environment that kids are familiar with, but it gives parents and guardians an opportunity to get a hold of some county and city resources that would be available. I think military is going to be here as well. I think we have some people that have signed up that are actually hiring. So if you've got a friend or somebody that you know of in your family that's looking for a job, we'll have some of those entities that Virginia talked about to be available for that as well. Those are the 2 events that we have previously set up. We are doing a passing of the senior spirit stick, which is, again, not necessarily a Title I, but it's something that we're trying to do. The kindergartners, you might get a guess what class they are. The class of 37. Okay, so we have the class of 2024 seniors. Next Friday is our senior night, which we will recognize all the kids that are a part of Friday night, from the color guard that presents for football, cheerleader, and band. We will recognize those seniors, but any seniors from Pat Flood or any of our seniors that have siblings that are kindergartners, we're going to put them on the one end of the field, maybe the 30-yard line, maybe not the goal zone, and then put the kindergartners with their parents, and they're going to kind of meet in the middle. Then we have a small little gift. Some of y'all probably seen that. We saw it on Facebook and thought that would be a good idea. We had it set up for Hurricane Elaine when she came in. She kind of wiped that out. So we thought we'll just switch that from homecoming to be on senior night. So we're looking forward to that activity. I've talked to several of the elementary principals who've already talked to their students and their teachers. We've sent home a personal invitation from the senior class of 2024 and passed that off to the kindergartner. So I know a lot of parents are excited about that. Of course, this is my contact information. Maggie Salsa Walker Schools. It's always going to be our first and last name in most cases, and make sure that Walker Schools is plural.org. If you have any contact or any concerns or questions or ways you want to be connected with us, that's a great way to reach me. Also, Shannon probably has contact information as well. She's got a office that is set up in the media center. You're welcome to check in anytime and go and see her for valuable resources and information. Two charts that are here, but I'm just going to ask Virginia and Julie to hold up. Thank you, Melissa London, who printed these off. Melissa's in the very back there next to Heather, Melissa and Heather Way. There are experts in the library area. This one over here is more about growth. This one here does reflect, I love to compare ourselves to any other school around us, okay? And I have two schools I really like to compare myself to, and that's Gordon Lee and Trump. For two reasons. I don't like either one of them. I have nothing personal against them, but anytime I can beat them on the court, on the field, or in the classroom, that's what I'm about. We lose a lot of our kids to those schools because people think that's a better school to send my kid to. Part of my job is to market us in that case. So in case you're not great at bar reading, I didn't star very high on bar reading. I just go ahead and put the numbers there as well. This is that math data I talked to you about. Proficiency in this past year, there's only two other schools that beat us. Heritage, I'm not sure what they're drinking, but I'm going to figure out what it is, what's in the water. They scored a 66.2. And the other one that beat me was Tried at 56.5. But other than that, our math department, our teachers, our dynamic team, our academic coaches pulled out a 51% proficiency. That means 51% of our kids at ninth grade, at the first year they're in high school, is scoring a proficiency in math. Now, 51%, that's not really good. We need 78. I agree, 100%. Math standards changed from a year ago. Julie?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are operating on our first year of new math standards. But remember, 4 years ago, we were at 10.8%. So we are excited about the growth that we're seeing. Obviously, we beat the GLEE, Gordon Lee. All right, that was great. This one is a little bit more specific. It shows you the growth of our students, high achievement, but high growth. You're going to have students that are always going to achieve high. They're in the gifted program. They excel it. But did you grow them? Did you teach them more than what they came in the classroom with? And our bubble is this pink one here. Don't know why it's pink, why Heritage got orange. I don't know. The state does this. But Heritage is the only one large enough here that's really over on top of us. So we are going to lay these out. You're more than welcome to look at it. Of course, we did beat the TRION and the GLEE on the number of achieved growth, but also the high achievement. So we're going to leave that out for y'all to look at your leisure. And I think we have Big Boss here tonight, Autumn and Hens. I want to thank her for working so closely with Shannon and our team here. She's been a huge supporter for our team as we move into this new area of what do we do with Title I funds. So I personally want to thank her for everything that she does for the Walker County system. That should conclude our wonderful videotaped program. And Shannon, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of let people know where we go from here. Yeah. If they are finished with eating. But personally, thank you again for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. And go Ramblers.
Yeah.